If you're over 55 and you've noticed something strange happening in your throat, that constant urge to clear it, that thick mucus that just won't go away no matter how much water you drink, or that feeling like something is always sitting at the back of your throat, please don't ignore it. Because what I'm about to share with you today could completely change the way you understand your own body. Stick with me until the end. Because reason number 3 is the one almost nobody talks about, and reason number 4 might genuinely surprise you. Every single day, people walk around blaming this mucus problem on just getting older, or allergies, or a cold that won't quit. But here's the truth. After the age of 55, your body goes through a series of internal changes that most people are never told about. And mucus buildup in the throat is often one of the very first warning signs that something deeper is shifting inside you. Today, we're going to break down 4 hidden reasons why this happens. Explained in a simple, easy-to-understand way, just like a doctor would explain it to a close friend or family member. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Reason number 1. Silent acid reflux. Most people think acid reflux always comes with heartburn, that burning sensation in your chest after a big meal. But there's a sneaky version of this condition called silent reflux, and it's incredibly common in people over 55. Here's what happens. As we age, the muscle that acts like a gate between your stomach and esophagus, called the lower esophageal sphincter, starts to weaken. Think of it like an old rubber band that's lost its snap. It doesn't close as tightly as it used to. So instead of a dramatic burning feeling, small amounts of stomach acid quietly creep up into your throat, especially at night while you're lying down. Your throat reacts to this acid the same way your skin would react to a mild irritant, by producing extra mucus to protect itself. That's why so many people over 55 wake up with a throat full of phlegm, a hoarse voice, or even a strange bitter taste in their mouth without ever realizing acid is the culprit. A simple example. Imagine pouring a tiny bit of vinegar onto a cut on your finger. Your skin would immediately react. Maybe get a little inflamed, a little irritated. Your throat does something very similar when acid touches it repeatedly, except instead of inflammation, you see, you get mucus, you feel? Reason number 2. Post-nasal drip from aging sinuses. As we get older, the tissues lining our nose and sinuses naturally become drier and thinner. It sounds like that should mean less mucus, right? But it's actually the opposite. When the nasal passages dry out, your body senses this and tries to compensate by producing thicker, stickier mucus to keep things lubricated. The problem is, this thicker mucus doesn't drain forward through your nose as easily anymore. So instead, it drips backward down the throat. This is called post-nasal drip, and it's one of the most overlooked causes of that constant throat-clearing habit in people over 55. Think of it like an old garden hose. When it was new and flexible, water flowed through smoothly, but as the hose ages and gets a little stiff, the water doesn't move the same way. It pools, it drips, it doesn't flow as cleanly. Your sinuses are a lot like that aging hose, and the mucus is the water that no longer drains the way it should. Reason number 3. Medication side effects. Nobody warns you about. This is the one I mentioned earlier, the one almost nobody talks about. By the time most people reach their mid-50s and beyond, it's common to be taking 1 or more daily medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, heart health, or even allergies. But here's something that often gets left out of the conversation. Many of these medications can directly affect mucus production in your throat and airways. For example, certain blood pressure medications, particularly a class called ACE inhibitors, are well known to cause a chronic dry cough and increased throat mucus in some people. Other medications, including certain antihistamines, can actually do the opposite, drying out your mouth and throat so much that your body overcompensates by producing thicker mucus to protect those dry tissues. Here's a relatable example. Imagine your throat is like a houseplant. If you don't water it enough, the plant gets stressed and wilts. But if you suddenly overwater it after a dry spell, it can also struggle. Your throat tissue reacts in a similar way. Too dry from medication, and your body overproduces mucus to cope, creating that thick, sticky feeling you just can't seem to clear. If you've started a new medication recently and noticed this throat mucus issue beginning around the same time, that connection might be more than just a coincidence. And it's worth bringing up during your next checkup. Reason number 4. Changes in swallowing function. This last one might surprise you, because it has nothing to do with your nose, sinuses, or stomach directly. It has to do with the muscles in your throat itself. As we age, the muscles involved in swallowing can naturally weaken slightly, a process sometimes called presbyphagia. It doesn't mean something is seriously wrong, but it does mean that swallowing becomes a little less efficient than it used to be. When swallowing becomes less efficient, small amounts of saliva and normal throat secretions that would have once been swallowed automatically and without notice can instead linger in the throat. Your brain interprets this lingering sensation as something is there, and it triggers that familiar urge to clear your throat, even though technically there's often very little actually there. A good way to picture this. Imagine an escalator that used to move briskly, smoothly carrying everything along. Now imagine that same escalator slowing down just slightly. Not broken, just slower. Things that used to move along quickly now take a bit longer, and you start to notice them sitting there. That's essentially what's happening with the muscles in your throat as a part of natural aging. So there you have it. 4 hidden reasons why your throat might be filling with mucus after the age of 55. Silent acid reflux quietly irritating your throat at night. Aging sinuses producing thicker mucus that drips backward instead of draining forward. Medications you might be taking every day without realizing their side effects, and natural changes in your swallowing muscles that make normal secretions linger longer than they used to. The most important thing to understand is this. None of these reasons are something to panic about. They are simply part of how the body changes as we get older. And the good news is that once you understand the actual cause, there are simple lifestyle adjustments that can make a real difference. Things like staying hydrated throughout the day, avoiding eating large meals close to bedtime, elevating your head slightly while sleeping, and reviewing your medications with your doctor can all help significantly. If this video helped you understand something about your own body that you've been wondering about for a while, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, because it genuinely helps this information reach more people who need to hear it. And if you want to go even deeper into specific solutions for each of these 4 causes, practical, easy-to-follow remedies you can start using today, let me know in the comments, and I'll consider making a full follow-up video walking through exactly what to do for each one. Remember, your body has been working hard for you for over 5 decades. Sometimes it just needs a little extra understanding and a little extra care to keep working the way you need it to. Take care of yourself, stay curious about your health, and I'll see you in the next one.